What is up, everybody? Welcome to Initial Reaction. My name is Philip.
I'm Charles.
And this week we saw Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising. And in honor of that, we have a very special guest, everyone's favorite neighbor, Mr. Rogers. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently, Mr. Rogers died 7 years ago, so
nope.
we will not...
I said I want some bread to go, like when we leave here.
Oh, so he's still... Okay. Well, tonight we'll have Mr. Rogers on the show.
No, he's still dead. I just really want some bread, like before we leave. Delicious.
What do you call a house full of united women?
A brothel.
A sorority. A sorority next door?
We need help.
Let's shut this party down. That's right. I'm switching sides.
That's awesome.
If we steal their stash, they won't be able to pay rent.
What's the plan?
I'm gonna dance.
Just you dancing is enough to distract the entire sorority?
It'll work.
It usually works.
I don't even know where we are right now.
All right, so like I said, we saw Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising, obviously sequel to Neighbors, Seth Rogen, Zac Efron, Rose Byrne. This one has Chloe Grace Moretz and a whole cast of sorority girls moving in next door to Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne's characters. Initial reaction, what'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I was pleasantly surprised.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, I liked the first one.
I really like the first one. Surprised me a lot. Like,
right.
It was kind of Seth Rogen had a little bit of a rough patch, but that kind of was like,
right.
You know, brought him back in full-fledged comedy
and
mode.
You don't think of, you think of Zac Efron as not a comedic actor. You know what I mean?
He is rolling on like these R-rated comedies right now. That's all he's doing.
And he's killing it.
Yeah, well, and he's perfect for this type of role. Like
Dirty Grandpa too.
Yeah, Dirty Grandpa, and what
super dirty, but he did a good job in that. Like all these comedies he's in.
Yeah,
you know, to go from High School Musical to that and see him like grow into these roles. It's actually kind of cool.
Right. I mean, and honestly, like Dirty Grandpa wasn't that great.
No,
I mean, and that awkward moment wasn't really that great. And what's the other one? Oh, We Are Your Friends.
Yeah.
Did you even see that?
Yeah, I did. That was awful.
Terrible. But in this role, in this R-rated comedy, he's really good for it.
But in We Are Your Friends, he was my favorite part of it. Even though I hated it. You know what I mean? Like he was the reason it wasn't like I didn't walk out.
Yeah, he made DJing slightly compelling. But only slightly, because you can only care so much about DJs.
DJ slightly compelling. That's a good DJ name.
So let's talk about story, because that was the first thing I was worried about. Like, it's such a good premise, like a one-off premise, though. It's like, how can you repeat this and still make it kind of, genuinely like believable?
Right.
And so
it was as successful as the formula for like 21 Jump Street and stuff like that. That do have successful sequels, and I think that worked.
And it did it without being self-referential, really. Because like that's what 22 Jump Street was all about. Like it was, sending up everything that
this movie is very self-aware as well. Like, it makes fun of itself. You know what I mean? Like that's what I liked about it too.
Really? Okay.
But, like stuff about stuff like Zoolander 2 and stuff that they've waited 10 years. They're using the same comedy. Doesn't work. As, Dumb and Dumberer or whatever 2. Stuff like that doesn't work like as well because you're using the same humor from 12 years ago, and obviously the genre has climbed out of where it was.
Oh yeah, and
but Neighbors these are just like 2 or 3 years apart. They're still using the same humor, and it really lands. Like,
and
I
if
thought this
they're
was just as
aware of anything, it's the matter of time, because that's what like most of the comedy comes out of is people getting older. Like that's the whole arc of Zac Efron's character is he's getting too old to be this guy, and that was kind of the Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's comedies are always kind of about this transition from being a child to being a man, and that weird middle ground.
Being a child to becoming a man child.
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. Like a lot. Well, a lot of them.
Right.
And so that's kind of where Zac Efron's character settles in here, but Rogen and Byrne are expecting their second child, and then the sorority moves in, and it's kind of, I expected it to be like the same showdown as the first one, but it's not really about that at all.
Because they put some of the same jokes in the trailer that weren't actually in the movie.
Right.
Like those
and I hate when that happens.
Yeah. I was glad. I was like, that made me laugh in the trailer. I wouldn't have laughed in the theater.
Right.
Give me some extra laughs for free. Yeah.
And there'll be like a half hour of bloopers and deleted scenes on the Blu-ray where it's just endless improv. But they give the sorority like a point. Like they're actually saying something meaningful with the girls and about society and double standards and all that stuff.
That part got on my nerves.
Oh, why? Because you're sexist?
Yes, and this is how I'm telling everyone. I'm just gonna say I'm sexist. No, it's just it was very on the nose. Like, you have an R-rated comedy where you're just trying to like have all these, jokes about genitalia and the baby's carrying around a phallic object the whole time. Like all this stuff
nice way to put it.
Has nothing to do, like, is just solely centered around comedy. And then every time they mention it, they're like, wait, girls can't have sororities or can't party and have sororities.
Right.
And then like they said that exact sentence and everybody's like, ah. Like even when they're telling Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, they're just like, you're kidding?
So
you guys can't have parties?
So you're saying they
saying
hammer
like,
home the point.
I'm just saying, why would you put that line in there 4 or 5 times to like drive a point of, hey guys, this is a real issue? And then they're like, I'm glad they put Dave Franco's line in there. Was like, nobody has the right to party. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, there are way more important issues out there to drive home than sororities can't party.
Like,
oh man, there's a lot of homeless people, but sororities can't party.
But it uses that premise to get at like the bigger issues with like society and expectations on women and things like that.
I guess I didn't get that at all.
I think that's what it's trying to do.
Well, yeah.
But
that's what annoyed me. It's an R-rated. It's an R-rated comedy. Why are you preaching at me?
At least it has some kind of substance, whereas most comedies don't care to even attempt such things. I kind of appreciated it. Like, you just need it to be funny.
No, it can have a point. It can have a storyline. It can have plot. Mm-hmm. But like, for you to use this as a platform to say that America, like, sororities are. People are sexist towards
Maybe it's the only way they can reach the youth.
It's the only way.
It's the only way to reach the youth of America.
In between the penis jokes, we just slip in some actual social commentary. Exactly. And then that's how we brainwash America.
It's okay to be vulgar and outlandish and let your kid hold. But, by God, don't be prejudiced or sexist.
Don't be prejudiced or sexist.
No, but I mean, in all honesty, like I appreciated it trying to be more about something than just being about the laughs. But in saying that, it really does have a lot of laughs going for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's consistently funny.
Yeah. Oh, no. The laughs land, the jokes land, everything's funny.
Yeah.
It's just great. Like, that's after about the 3rd time, that's when I leaned over and said, that's so annoying.
They are.
Like, it took me out of the movie to be like, gosh darn it, that's so annoying.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Sororities can't have parties. That's the whole premise of the movie. You don't have to be so on the nose and say it all the time.
Right. But
that's why I felt like they
talk about some of the other like supporting characters, like Ike Barinholtz. That dude is just kill. Like, I love everything he does in any movie.
I know. And his like that clown laugh that's in the trailer, like, made me laugh again. Like, he's like,
and they utilize it.
Stop that.
Who else was? I didn't feel like in the first one we got to know Zac Efron and Dave Franco and Christopher Mintz-Plasse really well, but in this one, I don't know, it like, even though the main objective of the movie was to try to, make these young girls feel like independent women and like, exceptions and be comfortable in who they are, I didn't feel like they were as fleshed out as the fraternity guys in the first one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they those guys got to grow up and do things.
Right.
And these girls at the end were still just as not. All they learned is how to be
granted, they
friends.
were. Yeah. Well, but they were 18. Like, they're all freshmen. Like, and it makes that clear. But whereas Efron and Franco in the first one were seniors and, making that man-child transition they needed to make. Right. But no, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely. It's hard to make a comedy sequel. Right. And, I mean...
They did a good job.
I think it was really good. Yeah, it was done really well. So, initial reaction, what do you think?
You go first.
It's a solid 4 out of 5 comedy for me. Like...
Okay.
I think it's like I said, really hard to make, a crowd-pleasing comedy, but a sequel to a really successful comedy, and then to just have it be as organic as that felt, like the comedy to be as natural as it just came between the chemistry between the characters and then just from the situations that they set up.
Right.
I thought it was a solid 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna go 3.5 because
it's the first time I've been.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was a 4, and then I thought of just how annoying that was. That knocked it down half a star for me.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
because I was just like, I still buy it.
Do you like it more than the first one, or you like the first one?
Equal to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm Philip. You're
Charles.
All right.
Still.
And this is Initial Reaction Reviews. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can read my written reviews at www.reviewsfromabed.com. Be sure to check back every week. We have a new review of the biggest release of the week. So thanks, and see you next time.
Neighbors 2.
Proud of you, man. You found your niche.
Rated R.
All good. All good. All good.
Still friends.
Still friends.